We do it by embracing freedom and liberty. There may be no such thing as a free lunch, but this hour is as close as it gets. Welcome to A Free Solution.
Oh, hello. It is Larry Sharp here on A Free Solution. Also hosted the Sharp Way Show and all other types of cool things here in WYSL, Rochester, New York, and WACK, Newark, New York, the cool Newark. Feel free to reach out to me today. Chat with me, 585-346-3000. Now, many of you who listen to this show often realize that last week I wasn't here. I know some of you were probably crying and were devastated. It's okay. I'm back. I was actually in South Dakota. You might say, why did you go to South Dakota? Freedom Fest was going on. So, of course, I had to go there. Had to go there because I care about that whole freedom and liberty thing that so many Americans have completely forgotten about. But I'm still there. So I went there, did a few presentations, moderated some panels, met a bunch of people, all good. But do you know what a really big issue was at Freedom Fest when people were talking to me? Our Lord and Master, His Majesty, King Andrew Cuomo II, all hail the King. He was a big topic. Now you might say, why do they care what happens, in New York if you live in South Dakota or you're from some other state, California, Minnesota? Why do you care? Because of what I say all the time. What happens in New York affects the rest of the country. We are the battleground state. They push us as hard as they can here, and then whatever we let them get away with, they go, oh, New York got away with that. Let's do that here. That happens all the time. So for those of you who think, what do I care? I escaped New York. I'm good. No, you're not. You're good for a little bit, but that's about it. Otherwise, it's coming to you. So you should care too. And they did. And one of the biggest things they talked about was, well, Larry, things are going to change now because you guys are going to get rid of Cuomo, right? And I would usually just laugh directly in their face. But sometimes I tried not to, because if you're in New York like I am, and most of you listening are, you laugh or you cry, right? That's the only two options. There's going to be an emotional response. So you either have to laugh or cry or do something violent and go to jail. So I'd rather do the laugh thing. So I kind of just deal with the laugh thing instead. So yes, but they don't understand why. What they hear is, well, he's got these allegations, he's got these issues, so of course, he's going to step down, or at least they're going to impeach him, or, he's going to lose the election. And when I tell them they're not going to impeach him, he's not going to step down, he's probably going to run again, unless an outsider comes in out of nowhere, or me or something, he's going to win again. And they get shocked. I said, don't you understand? He is a savvy monster of a politician. He runs this state with an iron fist. How in the world are you getting around him? And they go, well, some Democrat will challenge him, right? Again, I go back to the laugh thing. Why don't you ask Cynthia Nixon how that worked last time? Yeah, it doesn't. He controls the state with an iron fist. Well, then some Republican will come up and be savvy and cool and beat him. It's 3-1, Democrat, Republican. The people didn't want to vote for Cuomo. They're running out of our state as fast as can be. I'm trying to hold them back every week here, saying, please don't leave yet. Stay. Please give me a shot to make some damage here. Don't run yet. So yeah, that's not working. But then they go, there's no way, Larry. You're wrong on this one. And the reason is because of the nursing homes. See? Got him on that one. No, He's blamed the CDC. He's blamed the actual workers. He's blamed the for-profit motive of the nursing homes. And he said it's all political. He's got 4 different groups to blame. And he blames them every time he goes on TV. And he's on TV at least once a week, blaming everybody but himself. And it's working. It is. People around are going, yeah, well, it's all these other reasons why he killed those old people. It's not him. Those other things he said validates my terrible judgment in voting for him again in 2022. That's what's happening right now. Is actually working. People are starting to believe it because he keeps saying it. He keeps blaming somebody else again and again and again. But here's the best part of what he does. And I want you to see this if you ever watch it or watch TV or pay attention at all to any of these things. There are now other people in nonprofits saying, thank you so much for your leadership. Thank you for your guidance. Why would a nonprofit decide, let me start thanking our governor for his awesome leadership? Because he's paying them. What? Yes, he's paying them. Literally, all the funds he talks about, he says, well, you know what? I got all these funds and we're spending money on helping COVID and everything else we're helping out. How does he do that? He does it by earmarking those funds to specific nonprofits. So when he takes our taxpayer dollars, your taxpayer dollars, my taxpayer dollars, says, thank you for the money. Well, he doesn't say thank you. Sorry. He says, you better give me the money. I stand corrected. We're supposed to say, thank you for taking our money. I got that backwards. Excuse me. Thank you for taking our money. And he goes, yeah. Psh, lucky I don't put you in jail. You give me enough. Give me some more. So he takes the money, then packages it up nice, gives it to a nonprofit, and then says, see, I'm all about community. And then a nonprofit executives get this big influx of cash and go, I'm getting $1 million. Your Majesty, you're the best. You are so awesome. Your leadership is amazing. Your bribing, I mean leadership, is amazing. Your money, I mean leadership, is amazing. I'm so happy that you're bribing, I mean leading us through this COVID problem. Yeah, I'm not joking. Look at that. So now they say how great he is. So he takes our taxpayer dollars, bribes a nonprofit. They say he's awesome. If it fails, he blames the nonprofit. If it works, he says, see, I funded the nonprofit. Note he will say, I funded, because now it's his money. Well, in his eyes, it was always his money. He's just letting you keep some of it because he is a generous God. So he lets you keep some of the money that is his, and you can call it yours. It's not really yours, but, you know, he does care about you. So we're lucky to have him. That's actually happening right now. So for those of you who are going, he's finished because of the COVID deaths, aren't you watching? I am. Many people are not watching and they think somehow he's going to get impeached or somehow he's going to get destroyed. I don't see how. He's now got community leaders, organizers who are all behind him now because he's bribed them legally. Maybe I shouldn't say the word bribe. I'm not sure. I'm saying bribe. I'm not a lawyer. So I'm saying bribe colloquially. Is that the right way of saying it? I'm saying what it looks like. It may not legally be a bribe or illegally, however you would deal with that. But in my eyes, he's paying them and then they go, he's awesome. I mean, I guess we all have our number. At one point. I guess if he wrote you a check for a big enough number, you might all of a sudden say he's great too. You're going to swallow your ethics, swallow your morals for a certain amount of money and go, he's great. Love this guy. Cuomo 2022. I guess you could. And the best part is, it's not even your money. You get to steal other people's money and then bribe people with other people's money. This is an amazing situation. I mean, there's a part of me that's jealous. There's a part of me that wants to vomit, but there's also a part of me that's jealous. Both. So I bring this up to you because I want us to realize that this system is broken. We've been doing it for so long, and most people don't even notice. They don't see what's happening. In every case, when His Majesty controls us, it's always through the pocketbook. It's always through money. That's how he controls communities. That's how he controls counties. That's how he controls his enemies. That's how he controls his allies. That's how he controls nonprofits and even the press. They always say follow the money. They're right. Question is, am I right? Am I wrong? Let me know. 585-346-3000. Larry Sharp, A Free Solution. WYSL in Rochester. Back after the break.
Tends to be a little more conservative in upstate New York, and I think they don't know me as well.
Your business relies on computers and technology to operate. Slow, unreliable networks and servers can cause unplanned downtime and affect your bottom line. The experts at Simple Tech Innovations are here to help. Their preventative maintenance program ensures that your computers and network are kept up to date and monitored for any issues, keeping your business running smoothly. They also help clients achieve HIPAA, PCI, and New York State cybersecurity compliance to keep your network safe and secure. Whatever your business IT needs are, Simple Tech Innovations should be your first call. They've won the Best in Rochester 8 years in a row and have an A+ Better Business Bureau rating. Call them today for a free consultation at 585-200-3182. That's 585-200-3182. Simple Tech Innovations.
The Finger Lakes Castle team is in its 7th decade of factory direct service to the service professional. From cleaning the ins and outs of your vehicle to keeping you on the road, Castle's got you covered. Castle makes streak-proof glass cleaner, FDA-registered sanitizers, and EPA-registered hospital-grade disinfectants. Remember, when you need to keep it clean, use what the pros use. Castle. Accept no substitutes.
Castle keeps it clean.
A message from the National Police Association. It used to be that
I'll play another Cuomo clip coming back.
A police officer in danger. Now,
You're welcome.
are more likely to take a video. There's a better use for your phone when an officer's in trouble. Call 911. Tell the operator where you are and what you see. Then start your video to provide evidence later. To learn more about how you can assist law enforcement, visit nationalpolice.org. That's nationalpolice.org.
Why do businesses choose to move their website from Wix and Squarespace to Simple Tech Innovations? Maybe it's their excellent customer service or attention to detail. Maybe it's their ability to give a truly customized solution. Or perhaps they just like the fact that Simple Tech is a local small business that builds great relationships with its clients. Whatever the reason may be, you can rest assured knowing that the local team at Simple Tech has your best interest in mind when building or updating your website. They're hands-on and love helping customers achieve their goals. But don't take my word for it. They've won the Best in Rochester 8 years in a row and have an A+ Better Business Bureau rating. If your website doesn't match your dreams or isn't achieving your goals, give the professionals at Simple Tech Innovations a call today for a consultation at 585-200-3182. That's 585-200-3182. Simple Tech Innovations.
A free solution.
COVID did not get into the nursing homes by people coming from hospitals.
COVID got into the nursing homes by staff walking into the nursing home.
Yes, I was not joking. He literally blamed the staff walking in, the people who take care of the elderly. Those people, he blamed them. Have you tried taking care of elderly? Have you been a caretaker of someone older? Have you been a caretaker of someone who is sick or ill? Not the easiest job. Not the easiest job. And he blamed them. There it is. He blamed them. He blamed the CDC. He blamed the for-profit nursing homes. He said it was all political. Yeah, he'll be just fine. Maybe not. Larry Sharp here on A Free Solution, WYSL, Rochester, New York, WACK in Newark, New York, the cool Newark, 585-346-3000. Before the break, I was talking about Cuomo and about his scandals and about following the money. And I got a bunch of comments online, and thank you, chat, for giving me so many comments. There are some people who are upset, and they're upset at some of the other politicians, right? Some of the other politicians who are always kind of, doing what you might think is the wrong thing. Andrew writes, what's also sick is the Republicans, who he puts in quotes, despise Cuomo, always beg and plead with Cuomo for more funding, aka taxpayer dollars. While that is an accurate statement, I have some sympathy for them. I do. I mean, I would ask you, Andrew, or anyone else listening, what do you do when he literally controls how much money your district or your county gets? He's literally going to stop it. Many of the funds that are coming from boards. Some are coming from councils or something like that. And he appoints them. They're all his cronies. That's what he set up a system to where he controls the state with cash. He's a mafioso. They're exactly that. So you don't get the money now? And he's given you unfunded mandates in your county to where you physically can't have a budget. He's forcing you to pay for all of those things. And now you want to do things like fix your roads or something, or have a better school or whatever. And there's no money because he's mandated you spend it on everything he tells you to spend it on, and then won't give you any money because he controls the boards. And the problem is, and this is why I'm trying to be more open about this, because your points are valid, Andrew. It really is. I'm just saying I have some sympathy because most people in that county or district don't know how this works. And they just go, my local guy's terrible because he didn't fix the roads or the school. So he's got to beg his majesty for crumbs. Please, sir, can I have some more crumbs? He has to beg the king for money, or he can't fix anything in his district. So I have sympathy for those who are serving in this environment, because I think most of them, and I could be wrong, but I've met many people who are in this state, and most of them really want to do well. Change things, I'm going to be the one to make things better. And they run into a machine that is just a powerful, massive machine filled with people who you thought were on your side, but are also afraid of going against the king. So do you want to be the rebel baron who's going to fight the king by yourself? You're likely to get ousted. So I just feel that we have to be realistic we have to be realistic in the situation they're in, and we have to change it, in this case, from the top. Well, from the bottom voting, but in someone who can make an actual change, right? That's the issue. We have to make sure that we're making actual change. And that's the problem. It's very hard it's very hard for them to fight this. That's all I want to say. To be clear, So yes, Andrea says people don't understand the bigger the government gets, the more corruption and wasteful spending gets. But here's the scam. Here's the scam, Andrea, which people aren't saying. The money that he's getting, he's giving to nonprofits. So officially, the government isn't growing. This is the other scam. I'm going back to you, Andrew, in this case. This is another scam. Officially, the government isn't growing because the money he's giving is not to a government agency. He's giving to a nonprofit. So is the government growing? Well, yeah, because these nonprofits wind up becoming arms of the government. Why? Because the money always has strings attached. You can guarantee that. So he writes a check for whatever, $3 million to this agency. I'm sorry, not agency, to this coalition. And by the way, it's always a coalition. It's never just these guys. It's a coalition. This where the coalition people take their cut off the top. Again, I'm not joking. You can check their numbers. Their nonprofits is public. They take their cut off the top. Then they give out the crumbs to a bunch of small local people. They take their cut off the top. And then they do stuff, I think, with strings attached from the government. So in this case, is the government growing? Officially not. And the best part is, he can blame them if it doesn't work. This is win-win. So all I'm saying is, it isn't as easy as you would think. He set the system up to be completely on his side. He's been doing it for years. Sam says, the return on investment on being a big money donor to Cuomo is pretty good. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. I mean, this goes back to the don't hate the player, hate the game. If you're a heavy hitter donor in New York, why wouldn't you give him $40,000? I mean, why wouldn't you? He rewards his cronies, right, with all kind of cool stuff. Only problem is if you get in trouble, he will watch you burn. You're burning on your own. So you better have good lawyers and not get in trouble. Because if you get in trouble, he will not save you. He will just watch you burn. That's why everyone around him goes to jail, but he doesn't. So make sure you lawyered up right. And whatever legal stuff you do, make sure it's clear and easy that you can get out of it. Otherwise, you're in trouble. So Sam continues, is it illegal for me to take out a loan to donate, he puts in quotes, so I can be put on one of his new government boards? He puts, just kidding. Sam's not kidding. But yes, he has to, because in case his NSA agent or FBI agent's listening or watching, he doesn't want to get in trouble. But he's not joking. But yes, think about that. Think about that as an investment. Sam is wise here. He's saying, I could take out a loan, go to college, take out a loan, start a business, take out a loan, donate to Cuomo, get on one of these boards. That may not be a bad investment. Maybe we shouldn't go to Robinhood and do the game stonks. Maybe we don't want to do that. Maybe we want to start doing this. Not a bad deal. That's funny. So, yes, I just thought you guys might enjoy that. Joey says, I hope he knocks on my door to tell me to get the shot. He'll need new teeth. No, Joey's kidding. Joey's kidding. State police. Joey is not serious. He's joking. He would never strike anybody. Right, Joey? You would never strike anybody. So, but I get your point. Now, let me walk down this road, if I could. This is savvy. Giving nonprofits money to knock on doors so it's not government agents? Come on, Joey. As mad as you are, that's pretty savvy. He is savvy. All right. Is it going to work? 585-346-3000. Larry Sharp, back with your calls and more of your comments. Thank you, chat. So many comments here on WYSL in Rochester. A free solution. Back after the break.
We're not going to make America great again. It was never that great. We will reach greatness when every American is fully engaged.
leftist ideology in public schools.
WYSL.
AM 1040 Avon Rochester, FM 92.1 Rochester, and FM 95.5 Spencerport.
Here's the latest forecast from the News 10 NBC Weather Center for tonight. We'll see clearing skies out there, temperatures dropping into the 60s. On your Wednesday, we'll see sun and clouds mixed, tending to be a little sunnier in the afternoon. Cooler day, temperatures in the 70s, just a slight chance of a shower. Better chance for a shower or thunderstorm on Thursday, near 80. Cooler, again, sun, cloud, shower on Friday, near 70. I'm Rich Cornelia, WYSL.
Come to the Lima Crossroads Festival, July 28th through August 1st. Wednesday is the townwide parade at 6 p.m. Thursday are fundraiser concerts with Tryst at the East Tent, sponsored by Tough Trucks, where donations are encouraged to attend. The West Tent has Vanessa Collier and the Nighthawks with tickets available from Fanatics. Money raised goes to the festival, Mercy Flight Central, and Teresa House. Friday night is free music featuring Amanda Stone and the BBE, the Pete Griffith Group, and the M80s with an 80s costume contest. Saturday starts at 8 a.m. with breakfast. The BCW Trio plays at 10 a.m. along with Crafters, Kids Carnival, Bounce House, Bungee Trampoline, Human Car Wash, food vendors, BalloonManiaFun.com, and the Old Time Jail. The bed races are at 1 p.m., followed by the euchre tournament, and free music with Owen Eichenzer and Pat Harrington, Stevens and Sparkles, Jeremy Keys, the Gordon Munding Duo, Cinnamon Jones, Vinyl Orange Ottoman, the Gabe Stillman Band, Forum, and an open jam hosted by Pete Griffith. Sunday starts at 9 a.m. with church under the West Tent and the Rib Cook-Off. At noon, there are craft and food vendors, BalloonManiaFun.com, the giant Velcro dartboard, and the massive 4-person photo chair, along with a craft wine and beer tasting. The free music is at 1 p.m. with Steve Grills and the Roadmasters, John Akers, Johnny Rawls, Pete Griffith and Martino, Blue Sky, and Miller and the Other Sinners. See limafest.org for all the details. Come to the Crossroads. It's a breath of fresh air.
Why do businesses choose to move their website from Wix and Squarespace to SimpleTech Innovations? Maybe it's their excellent customer service or attention to detail. Maybe it's their ability to give a truly customized solution. Or perhaps they just like the fact that SimpleTech is a local small business that builds great relationships with its clients. Whatever the reason may be, you can rest assured knowing that the local team at SimpleTech has your best interest in mind when building or updating your website. They're hands-on and love helping customers achieve their goals. But don't take my word for it. They've won the best in Rochester 8 years in a row and have an A+ Better Business Bureau rating. If your website doesn't match your dreams or isn't achieving your goals, give the professionals at SimpleTech Innovations a call today for a consultation at 585-200-3182. That's 585-200-3182. SimpleTech Innovations.
An experienced professional with more than 15 years in dentistry, Dr. David Olivo welcomes new patients to his family practice at 2005 Lyle Avenue. At the office of Dr. Olivo, you'll discover a warm and comforting environment staffed by professionals who are committed to providing the best available dental care while assuring your complete comfort. Call 328-3382 for an appointment. Dr. David Olivo, offering quality dentistry.
And I'll come back with yet another Cuomo clip.
The Taylor Laboratories. Hey, Tony, what you doing?
Hey, you know what? We don't have to make this stuff up. He does it for us.
A sample of indoor air. How can it be that dirty? Don't AC and furnace filters help? Only with dust, Zach. But when Taylor installs a whole house APCO air purifier to detox the air, odors, chemicals, mold, bacteria, and viruses are removed. For clean indoor air. Yep. Ain't science awesome?
Taylor, 500 help.
Weber for life. The Q1200, the single burner, portable gas grill, whether you're at home or on the go. A 189 square inch cooking area that's large enough to grill an entire meal, retain high heat for photo-worthy sear marks, and hold heavy foods without warping. Functionality meets modern design in the Q1200. Unmatched engineering, unmatched cooking performance, unmatched style. Weber for life.
Smith Lumber and Hardware Center in Lakeville proudly features Weber, America's best-loved grill.
WYSL. WYSL.
Hi, this is Joe Santani from the radio show Medicare U. Join me along with my partner Andrea Zaweski from T65 and Beyond every week as we explore the ins and outs of Medicare. We're your healthcare translators. If you're 65 or will be soon, you'll need this important Medicare information for the best coverage, best health, and best price. Medicare U, Tuesdays at 7:30 and Sundays at 1 on the WYSL stations.
WYSL.
A free solution.
If you are upset by what we have done, be upset at me. County executive did not do this. The village mayor did not do this. The city mayor did not make these decisions. I made these decisions. It's not your local elected official. I know they caused disruption. I know people are upset. I know businesses will be hurt by this.
I do blame you, and I am upset, and it is your fault. Yes to all those things. And yes, you win. See, in this case, we agree. Look at that. I can even find agreement with him. Larry Sharp here on A Free Solution. WYSL, Rochester, New York. WACK, Newark, New York. The cool Newark. Sorry, New Jersey. But we are the cool in Newark. Just kind of how it works. So happy to have you here. 585-346-3000. And before the break, I was talking about follow the money. All those things. How Cuomo is going to get around this nursing home thing. There's more, though. There's harassment, too. There's all kind of stuff he's got going on. But the thing that just came out is the DOJ, federal, is not going to investigate the nursing home deaths. So it's only local now. It's only New York State. Just keep that in mind for a second. It's New York State. And I know some of you are thinking, Larry, here's what you haven't thought of. Think you're so smart. Here's what you haven't thought of. Letitia James, she's the AG. She might want to become the new governor. And so what she'll do is she'll hammer Cuomo, and that'll get rid of him. Well, that's not a bad idea. I like that, except if you remember months ago, he made her in charge of all police reform and crime in New York State. Did you remember that? I didn't forget that. I remember that. Part of my member berries. You South Park people know what I'm talking about. I do remember. So he did say that. So if crime is not fixed, you know whose fault he's going to make it? Hers. Crime's a big deal. In case you hadn't heard, crime's a big deal. And he knew it would be a big deal. And so now he's blaming her for all that if it doesn't work. So she attacks him. He attacks her. Yeah. And if you've noticed what he's been saying recently about his harassment stuff, he's been saying, when the facts come out, you're going to see I did nothing wrong. I'm good. When the facts come out, you're going to see how it was politically motivated. Miscommunication and such. That's what it is. Politically motivated. That's what he's saying. So he's already prepping himself for a political motivation fight. Already on that. So even if Letitia James tries something, well, she's clearly incompetent because of crime, and it's politically motivated. But odds are she puts up something that's might get him a censure, maybe. That's it. You did bad harassing those dozens of women. Anyone else is canceled immediately, but not His Majesty. His Majesty's fine. That's where I see it going. And maybe I'm wrong here. Maybe I am too cynical, but I ran against him. And I know his machine. And I feel like that's the only way. So I'm not surprised. And I feel like that's going to happen. He is constantly finding ways to blame others, punish others, control them with money to a point where it's just really hard for people to go against him. It has to be an outsider. That's what I keep saying. Let me grab a couple of comments. I appreciate these. Ed says, "Miss you, Larry. Glad to see you back on." I'm here. I did miss 1 week. I apologize. But David says something important. He says, you keep forgetting to mention the nonprofits donations back to Cuomo's campaign fund. And there's another scam. If he gives the money to nonprofits that are able to return the money, and some are, not all can, David, depends upon the nonprofit and whether they have two different arms. There are legal issues here, right? Certain nonprofits can donate and certain ones can't. I forgot which ones are which. I'm sure there's a lawyer who's listening who knows that what I'm talking about. And sometimes nonprofits have two arms, right? They have one arm that is only to do and one that can fund and things like that. Now, that doesn't mean they don't do it, but it may not seem like they're doing it because they do a little the shell game. They move the money around. Well, it's in this nonprofit now, but we transfer to that nonprofit. This one can donate. So he gives $1 million to nonprofit A. What does he get? He gets their endorsement. They talk about how awesome he is. He say he supports the community. If it fails, he blames them. If it wins, he says, I funded it. And if they decide to reward him back because they want more money, they throw 40 grand back to him, 50 grand back to him. That's his cut, right? So he gives them 500,000. He puts 40 grand in his pocket. That's his cut. So that's how that begins to work. You're totally correct. That does happen. Just not every one of them can do it. It's a legal issue, but it's a great point. I love that. So good. So let's see here. The Eskimo Libertarian is out and she says, man, how was Cuomo still in office? I think I've explained it. I kind of think I've explained that to you, to everybody, 100%. So I want to walk down a different road if I could. I walk down New York State. I now want to go to California for a second. Why California? Because California is following New York City. People said to me, Larry, they're going to wind up doing, vaccine mandates. And I said, I didn't think so. If you remember that, I said last year, did not think it's going to go to vaccine mandates because there is too much pushback on actual vaccine mandates. So I don't think there's going to be any. If you remember what I said they'll make it in another way. They'll make life virtually impossible without it. So you're kind of forced, you're coerced into doing it without a mandate. So here's what they're mandating in New York City. They're not mandating vaccines. You don't have to get a vaccine if you don't want to work in New York City, be a New York City worker. But if you don't have one, they're mandating weekly tests and masks. That's the mandate. So you've got to wear a mask and get tested every week. But you don't need a vaccine. It's not mandated. Don't worry about it. Just walk around, be the only 2-3 people with masks on, and get tested every week. That's fine. You don't have to get a vaccine. We'll just point and laugh at you every day when you come to work. But you don't have to get one. You just have to accept that we're going to point at you and laugh every time we see your mask on. That's all. But no mandate. California is going that road too. Mandating masks, mandating everything, but not the vaccine. So do we dodge a bullet? I'm actually not sure. I did not believe they would mandate vaccines. I don't think they will ever mandate vaccines. I just think they will make it so hard that so many people will do it. I'm worried about my kids now and their families. And their friends. Because school, right? Are they going to make it to where you have to get the COVID vaccine to go to school? What if you already had it? If you're a kid and you already had COVID, they're going to force a vaccine on that? They're not even going to have an exception for that? For those you don't know, if you are vaccinated, there's something like a 99.9% chance that even if you get exposed, you don't even get COVID, you won't get anything. Nothing will happen to you at all. And if you get COVID, if you're the 0.01% or whatever that percentage is, it's like a 95% chance that you won't even be hospitalized. I mean, it's like a 1 in 100,000 shot something like that, that you'll get COVID if you're exposed, and then go to a hospital. That doesn't mean die, it just means go to a hospital. And kids of that percentage are the lowest of all of them. But we're fighting on this. And Benjamin brings up, or don't attend one of our state colleges, universities. Yeah. So they're not going to mandate the vaccine. I don't think so. They're going to make it so that you kind of have to if you want to survive in society, which is horrible. Andrew says, at least the people in California want to have a recall election for Gavin Newsom. Yeah, but it's not going to go through. It's not going to work. Not enough Californians actually want it. Most of them are happy with him. And the ones who aren't happy, they're packing up and leaving. California, again, lost several million people, and several million people. And they even lost a congressperson. So they've lost a congressperson. People who would vote against Newsom are leaving. What New Yorkers and Californians are doing is they're voting with their feet or their U-Hauls, however you want to say it. They're voting with the U-Hauls. It's a problem, right? New York City is showing the way, the bad way, for the rest of the state, and the rest of the state is showing the way for the rest of the country. You have to make some changes here, guys. Follow the money as always. That you hear all the time, and it seems like it, something that's trite. It's real. Your calls, your comments, our free solution, WYSL, Rochester, New York, 585-346-3000. Back after the break.
And if there is a move to deport immigrants, I say then start with me.
Why do businesses choose to move their website from Wix and Squarespace to SimpleTech Innovations? Maybe it's their excellent customer service or attention to detail. Maybe it's their ability to give a truly customized solution. Or perhaps they just like the fact that SimpleTech is a local small business that builds great relationships with its clients. Whatever the reason may be, you can rest assured knowing that the local team at SimpleTech has your best interest in mind when building or updating your website. They're hands-on and love helping customers achieve their goals. But don't take my word for it. They've won the best in Rochester 8 years in a row and have an A+ Better Business Bureau rating. If your website doesn't match your dreams or isn't achieving your goals, give the professionals at SimpleTech Innovations a call today for a consultation at 585-200-3182. That's 585-200-3182. SimpleTech Innovations.
Hi, my name is Ryan Bourne.
And I'm Danica Bourne.
And we're the owners of South Coast Tax. We would like to thank our Lord for protecting us from evil. Psalm 91 states, He is my refuge and my fortress, for He will rescue us from every trap and protect us from deadly disease.
South Coast Tax are Christian-based tax accountants and attorneys who specialize in releasing bank levies, wage garnishments, and filing complex tax returns. We are the leaders in acceptance of offers and compromise with awesome results.
We are also a small firm who will treat you like family and not just a number.
Call us today at 1-800-TAX-1176 for a free consultation, and we'll take the time to explain all of the programs that you qualify for in order to allow you a fresh start.
In John 8:36, so if the Son sets you free, you will be free indeed. And one way we can achieve that is by being debt-free. So let us help you today. Call us at 1-800-TAX-1176, and together we can help achieve this goal by putting the IRS tax debt behind you for good. Again, that number is 1-800-TAX-1176.
Your business relies on computers and technology to operate. Slow, unreliable networks and servers can cause unplanned downtime and affect your bottom line. The experts at SimpleTech Innovations are here to help. Their preventative maintenance program ensures that your computers and network are kept up to date and monitored for any issues, keeping your business running smoothly. They also help clients achieve HIPAA, PCI, and New York State cybersecurity compliance to keep your network safe and secure. Whatever your business IT needs are, Simple Tech Innovation should be your first call. They've won
All right,
Best
and
in
I'll
Rochester
come back
8
with
years in a
one
row
more
and
clip.
have an A+ Better Business Bureau rating.
Oh, anytime I
Call
can
in
take a
today
stab
for
at
a free
that guy.
consultation at 585-200-3182. That's 585-200-3182. Simple Tech Innovations.
A free solution.
These extreme conservatives who are right to life, pro-assault weapon, anti-gay, they have no place in the state of New York because that's not who New Yorkers are.
Hear that? You right to lifers. How dare you be in New York State? You're pro-gun? Why are you in my state? There's no place for you. That's what His Majesty has said. Yes. You know what? I say the opposite. If you're pro-life, welcome. If you're pro-2A, welcome. I'm happy to have you in my state. And if you're outside New York State and you are any of those, I'd like you to come back. Enjoy. New York is a diverse state with lots of different people in it. And I want you all to come here. There's space for all of you. I'm happy to have you all, particularly here on A Free Solution. WYSL Rochester, New York, and WACK Newark, New York, the cool Newark. And I'm Larry Sharp here hosting it. But you know what? This show is on every single day, noon, every single day. It is. And you know who's also here? The cool Kevin Wilson and the super cool Tim O'Connor. He's here on Thursdays. And I'm trying still to get Andrew Halsell to show up, you lazy bum. Get on the show. What's wrong with you? Get on the show. So we got cool people on the show. You can listen to it every single day at noon. Please do that. And I'm hosting the Sharp Way Show. You want to figure out what that is? Go to the Sharp Way, Google it, and like my stuff on the interwebs. And you will hear me yap about all types of things. Thank you so much for giving me a chunk of your afternoon. Prior to the break, again, I was talking about how His Majesty gets away with things, how he uses money. This is number one power move that people often don't see. That's his number one power move. It's very effective, and it puts people in a bind because so much of politics is run by cash. I mean, it's really what it's run by. It's a big deal, and people don't always get it. So let me grab a couple comments here. Sam says, Stockholm Syndrome, when a hostage bonds with their captor while in captivity. See also New York State residents voting for policies that keep them in captivity and loving the politicians that did it. Sam, I wish you were wrong, but I think you are right. That's a very hard thing for us to deal with. But there's another part to that, right? There's several parts to New York State. That's one. But there's also something as simple as, I don't want to leave my home. That's a part of New Yorkers too. Many of us who are born here and raised here, why should we leave our state? Why should we leave our friends? Why should we leave our city? Why should we leave our businesses or our careers? It's hard. And I feel it. I don't want to leave my city and my state. But don't get me wrong. I am tempted, as anyone in New York State listening here knows that. You're tempted too. You've been thinking about leaving because we all have. So we're all tempted. So it isn't only that. It's also that we may not want to leave our home. But there's another piece. We may have family here. How about our kids who are still in school and maybe enjoy their friend group? How about our elderly parents who either can't move or don't want to move, or are stuck in nursing homes or events, places like that? Hopefully don't die because of our king. But that too. What about our jobs? What about careers? We like our job, or we like our career, or we have a pension coming or retirement coming, and we don't want to end that. It's why so many people in New York State, when that event happens, that's when they leave. When their kid gets out of high school, or the last kid gets out of high school or college, then they leave. Or when their elderly parent passes away, they then leave.
James from Charlotte.
Or when they get their pension, then they leave.
Charlotte, New York.
So let me grab a call if I can. So James from Charlotte, how are you, sir?
Hey, let me ask you something. Now, in New York, if King Cuomo says that right-to-lifers aren't welcome, and you know what, and that's fine. I believe that a woman's right with her body is a Fourth Amendment. That's just me. So therefore, isn't me not getting a COVID shot a Fourth Amendment for the right of my own body?
I hate everything about what Cuomo said, and you made me hate it more. So now I'm mad at you, James, because now I'm angrier. No, I'm kidding. You're exactly right. At every point, what you just said. I am 100% for people who are pro-life to be in this state. I hope we have more of them. I'm anti-abortion myself, even though I don't want the government to mandate it. I'm against mandates 100%. So I think I'm consistent in that. I don't want the government to put a needle in you either. I want people to voluntarily get the vaccine if they think it's right for them. Particularly in my opinion, if you're over 60, you should.
Well, let's really get a handle on what COVID is right now, and that is a mind candy psyop to keep us from the open borders, to keep us from seeing what's in Biden's infrastructure bill, which is an attack on private property, by the way, in case you haven't read that. There is a private property amendment in his infrastructure bill where private property is no more. It's all the federal government.
So hold on. You're saying COVID is, hold on. You put up, that was a whole lot in that sentence.
I'm saying COVID. I'm not denying COVID. It's just a flu, and people die from the flu. It's just a flu. You don't shut down the states. You do not destroy business. You don't put masks on 5-year-olds playing in the playground. I've had enough of this COVID and King Cuomo.
2 minutes.
I'm not sure I buy just the flu piece. I don't know about that. I'm not knowledgeable enough. But the other things you said, you don't shut down the state, you don't shut down business, you don't put masks on 5-year-olds. Yes, yes, and yes. I'm with you, brother, on that, James, 100%. And I think what you mean by the attack on private property is the eminent domain parts. Is that what you mean?
No, there is a provision in that infrastructure bill they're trying to slide through with Biden and that other fraud, Harris. It basically says, hey, from now on, private property, it's not yours. It's all the feds. It's not really an eminent domain thing. So they can clean out a neighborhood and build skyscrapers and pack in all their illegal alien Democrat voters. Is basically what that says. Check it out.
You know, I didn't hear that piece. I'm going to have my team look at that because I assumed it was all eminent domain.
Well, how technical do you want to get with eminent domain?
1 minute.
They have the power to say, you people out of here. We got to house our illegal Mexican, Latino Democrat voters. We need to put them so they can vote.
I don't think they put that part like, let's put the illegals in the bill, but it's still good. James, I love what you said. Thank you so much for calling. I'm running up against the end of the show. Thank you for calling. I appreciate it, brother. So I do worry about people feeling unwelcome and leaving, and people feeling afraid and not trusting. And this comes down to what James is saying is people not trusting. And if these are our authorities, yes, I'm doing air quotes, and we don't trust them, we got a bigger problem. A free solution is transparency. That's the key. Thank you for giving me a chunk of your afternoon. I will see you all next week.